Welcome to the Health Hobby Podcast, the place for busy moms searching for simple solutions to weight loss, more energy, better nutrition, fitness, and healthy living time management. I'm your host, Amanda Ford. Stick with me and make health your hobby as I guide you through simple steps and skill-building exercises so you can finally hit those dreamy health and weight loss goals. Take it from me, it's time to kick all those fad diets and quick fix workouts to the curb. It's all about slowing down and finding your very own rhythm of healthy living, because when you find your health, you find your joy. Let's dive in. Hello, Health Hobby crew. Welcome back to another week on the Health Hobby Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Ford, and today we're going to be talking about your word of the year, or your focus word for the year. Using a focus word is a tactic that people use to stay motivated and reminded of their goals. So I have a word of the year for all my listeners that we're going to be talking about today and deep diving into the word and why it's so important for weight loss goals and fitness goals and healthy living goals and any goals for that matter. And you'll understand why when you learn what the word is. But take a few minutes before we get started and think about your goals for your weight loss and your healthy living for the year. And think of a word that really encompasses your goal and finishing that goal and what you would need to do to finish that goal, and find a word that really captures, even an emotion or a feeling or an action. And write that down. And you might even use the word that we're going to be talking about today. Just do that little exercise for yourself, because we want to make sure that the word of the year is custom to you and means something to you. But before we get into it, if you could please help me out by hitting the like and subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube, or make sure to follow the podcast on your favorite podcast players, as this is a signal to yourself that you're ready to take your healthy living and weight loss actions seriously, because that means you're checking in each week, you're wanting to stay motivated. This is a great way to just kind of stay on track and focused, is checking into the Health Hobby Podcast each week. And also, thank you in advance, as your support helps me to be able to continue this work, which is my passion. And my goal is to help as many women as I can find their own healthy living routines, strong bodies through fitness, and their dreamiest weight loss goals. So it's January as I record this, and it's a brand new year and a fresh opportunity for you to transform your life. And I love January. Some people think that New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals are cliche and lame, but I absolutely love this time. And I think it's one of the most inspirational times of the year. And I definitely lean hard into the New Year's resolution, New Year's goals, planning season, all of that when it comes to January. And this is your time to reset and refocus and build lasting change, not just in your physical health, but in your mindset, spirit, and confidence. So today we're going to be talking about how can we stay focused on those New Year's goals. And if you haven't already, go back and listen to episode number 13, where I help you plan your first 30 days of your weight loss journey for the year. It's an epic episode. It has a free workbook that goes along with it. It's a deep dive training. It's going to help you simplify and get this focus so you can be successful in your weight loss and fitness. And one of the things in that episode is journaling. So one area that we can use today's topic is with our journaling check-ins and offering a time for us to refocus each week. It's not about refocusing once in January and getting a plan together. It's really important, if you have goals, to check in with yourself and analyze and shift each week. So using this word of the year, this focus goal, you can ask yourself during your journaling sessions if that's one of your connection steps that you're going to do, which, if you don't know what a connection step is, please go back and listen to episode 13. It will explain it in detail. But it's so powerful to have a connection step like journaling or prayer if you're on a weight loss journey, because it helps you stay grounded in your goal. And using a focus word or your word of the year can help you think about how you've been behaving for the week and if you actually are on track. Again, it's a way to simplify. I'm always thinking about how can we simplify all of these goal-getting processes, right? I'm sure they're thrown in your face all the time. Do this, journaling every week. Do that, do this meal prep, track this food. It's just thrown in our face. I want to simplify. So let's think about how we can focus on our goals that we've just set for the year with a simple word. And again, that word can be customized to your goals. And I think the word of the year that we're going to be talking about today is going to capture everybody's goals and be everyone's focus goal. And I hope it is. It is my word of the year for you guys, my listeners, and for myself for all types of reasons, which I'll share. It's a word of action and it's a word of results. So you might be wondering, what's the word of the year? The word of the year for the Health Hobby Podcast 2025, and for all my busy mom listeners out there, is consistency. So this year, I want you to embrace a single powerful theme of consistency. Consistency isn't flashy and it doesn't rely on burst of motivation or perfect conditioned. It's not an impulsive concept either. So instead, it's about small, steady actions that we take every day, day after day, no matter what life throws at us. Consistency is the bridge. I love this, you guys. Consistency is the bridge between where you are right now and where you want to be. And I want to call out for all my perfectionists out there that consistency isn't perfectionism. Consistency isn't checking off your workouts every single day, every single month, every single week, never missing on your meal plan or your meal tracking. It's not a perfect journey. It is just checking in and showing up on your journey every day, no matter what that looks like. There's a really great Instagram post that's been flying around for the last couple years. I don't go on Instagram anymore, but if you are on the algorithm for getting like motivational quotes or things like that, you might have seen it. So it's a really basic picture and it's a hand-drawn picture of 7 circles. And it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it says consistency is, and it has the circles filled in full on one day, full on another day, kind of filled in on the other day, halfway filled in the next. You can kind of understand what I'm saying. And then it says consistency is not. It has all the circles filled in completely. That means that the person completed everything 100% all the time. Now, some people are like that, but in real life, consistency isn't perfect or 100% show up every day. It's just doing small steps. Sometimes we're like, I just couldn't get to the gym. I can't even explain all the different scenarios that could keep someone from missing their workout or going on their run or, having to shift what they eat. So many scenarios. We are busy moms. We can fill in the blank all day. We'd probably talk 2 months about all the different scenarios that would throw us off. Even if you show up, you're like, I drank my water today. That's all I had time to do that had to do with my healthy living and my weight loss goals. I want us to think about consistency in all areas of our goals as we talk today. So as we chat, if you want to take notes or you find this is like really inspiring for like journaling right now, take out your iPhone, get your notes app open, get out your journal, and let's talk about how we can maintain consistency and how consistency is so important when we weave it into our weight loss and fitness goals for the year. So I said just a minute ago that consistency is the bridge from where you are right now to where you want to be. It's what turns hope into progress and progress into success. So let's start with this little truth, okay? You are capable of achieving your goals no matter what. I believe in you, not because of luck or talent or because you have more time than your neighbor or because you have a different work schedule than your sister or because you just are more organized. It's because every small consistent action you take builds unstoppable momentum. So right now, when we start weight loss journeys, so at the beginning of the year, most people have been at a standstill. And it becomes hard to get going all of a sudden when we're from a standstill. If you think about that analogy about pushing a rock up a mountain, it's so hard to get it going. But once it starts rolling, you can get up underneath it and you can use the momentum, the force that you've already put behind it to roll up the hill. Consistency works in the same way and helps you build that momentum. So when we're starting and stopping weight loss routines, we don't build that momentum. And the starting and stopping really comes from, I talked about this in episode 13. Again, please go back and listen to it. It is a super goodie. But starting and stopping is one of the biggest reasons that people quit. Another reason is that people bite off more than they can chew. So we really want to think about the snowball effect of consistency in our weight loss journey, helping us to build that momentum, which ultimately goes and builds those routines and rhythms that I talk about every single episode, like brushing your teeth. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you get some water, you go downstairs and you do some stretching, or you pop into your workout. That just starts to happen without you even thinking about it. It's a big snowball effect after you've committed to small steps via consistency every day. So research shows that sustainable habits are formed through repetition. So by starting small, I always say we start small, simple, micro habits. You guys, staying steady no matter what. And again, staying steady could look different for different people. Like I said, sometimes the bubble is completely filled in. That means you hit it 100%. And sometimes it was filled in with a tiny little margin and it's barely colored in because something happened, but you still showed up in some small way. That's great progress, and that's consistency. So you want to make sure that you're showing up no matter what. And sometimes we don't know what that looks like. So one thing I like to coach people to do is pause and think about what are all the roadblocks that could happen to me when I'm trying to achieve said goal. So on this podcast, our goals are gaining a fit body, getting strong, losing weight if needed, building healthy routines that make our bodies feel good and feel energized, and our mental health is optimized, and we're feeling clear-minded. This is all in the name of healthy lifestyle. That's our goal. Well, a lot of things can happen. Like you could list, my job, my work schedule is really wild. I could get sick. I have 2 kids. They have their own schedules. My husband's schedules. Maybe you are on call. Maybe you're a nurse, so you don't know if you're going to get called in some days. There's all types of things that could happen. I didn't even list all of them, of course. Everyone's life is unique, but a really good exercise to help you stay consistent is to list, take 5 minutes and just brainstorm all the things that you think that would throw you off your weight loss journey to prevent you from being consistent. Maybe you sleep in all the time. Okay, so that means you probably should go to bed a little bit earlier. And the reason you would know that is because you went through this exercise and you listed all the things that keep you from getting up and doing your workout in the morning. And you're like, oh, I'm always sleeping in. Well, by identifying those roadblocks, you can come up with solutions right then and there. So a solution for that particular situation would be, you want to go to bed, start going to bed a little bit earlier and start working towards little by little each day, working up a little bit earlier, small steps, you guys. So you eventually can get up and work out in the morning. Or if you listed all these other things, you can identify a plan B. So if you don't get up and work out in the morning, what can you do later in the day to still stay consistent in your weight loss journey? So you can identify solutions and you can identify plan Bs so you can still stay consistent and not feel like, oh, I'm just, I didn't wake up. I'm not going to work out at all. I'm not going to do anything. And that's what happens. And that's what people do. And then the momentum starts going the other way and you quit. So I highly recommend you do that exercise of listing your roadblocks, challenges, concerns that I know you guys already have them in your mind. So list those out and then, in one column, and then the other column, you could do, a solution or a plan B for each challenge. So you can reference that and use that as your guiding light on the days that might not work out so well for you. So you are essentially staying consistent with your goals without stopping or ignoring that you had a healthy living action to do that day. You want to stay consistent for yourself. It's worth doing these little journaling steps and coming up with creative ideas so you can stay consistent. One of the other ways that I love maintaining consistency is tapping into resources like books. I love motivational books, and one of the best motivational books on the planet is the Bible. And we're going to talk about a scripture later that helps me stay consistent in my own weight loss journey, and I hope it inspires you guys too. In addition to the Bible, there is a whole genre of personal development books on the market, which I absolutely love. It's one of the most prevalent genres in my library if you would come look at our bookshelves here at my house. But one of the most popular books, it's so great for habits, you guys. It's by James Clear, and he has written a book called Atomic Habits. If you haven't heard of this book, I would be surprised, but if you haven't read it, go get it on your Kindle right now or go grab it, from the store. It's an easy read, but it's full of super simple, actionable tips, which I'm a fan of, that you can use to tweak your current routines right now so you are consistent. But in that book, he reminds us that every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. If that is not inspiring, I don't know. I love that. So every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. If you haven't read this book, I will link to it in the show notes for sure. It's just chocked full of really easy tips to help you build positive habits and also to break habits or routines that are sabotaging your success. Plus, it's full of these killer quotes that kind of a little slap in the face. You're like, oh man, okay, yes, I vote that I want to be this person that has successfully completed my weight loss journey in 2025 and didn't quit like I have all the years before. I vote yes for that. And I vote yes for you, but tap into other solutions like checking into the Health Hobby podcast each week, coming back and listening and getting motivated, reading books that keep you motivated and focusing on positive actions for healthy living, like James Clear's book or other ones. There's so many out there, you guys. Just find one that really resonates with you. This one is just, everyone's got to read this book. It's so awesome. There's so many killer tools in there. You're going to be like, what? This is crazy. It's going to blow your mind. You got to read it. We talked a little bit about just a minute ago an exercise you can do to list roadblocks, challenges, and for you to then create solutions or plan Bs for those challenges. And I want to remind you that when challenges and obstacles arise, and they absolutely will. Sometimes we have a perfect week. Sometimes we have the week from where. And you're like, how did this happen? Why is this happening to me? We kind of start getting in that mindset. Let's pause for a second. And I want you to think about when that happens, that this is just regular life. Nothing is happening to you. You are not a victim to your child getting sick and you not be able to go into the gym or go on your run. You are not a victim to the extra project that came through on your email on Friday at 3 p.m. when you're supposed to be leaving on a 3-day week. You are in charge of your life. And I want you to remember that these are not failures. And instead, we're going to flip the script and say, these are your opportunities to grow and adjust and to prove to yourself that you are capable of staying on course. Remember, you are voting for the self that you want to become. That was the quote that James Clear just offered us. Every action and decision that I make is a vote for the person on the other side of that goal, at the finish line of that weight loss goal. So a challenge or an obstacle to staying consistent, it's not a failure if you actually don't hit anything. It's an opportunity for you to analyze and shift and take a look at what happened. And sometimes we don't have a solution, but a lot of times we can be like, just like the list we made, we can be like, oh, next time this happens, I can do this instead. There you are, you're on track again. And you feel capable and you actually build confidence and knowledge and power, over these circumstances that are really trivial a lot of the times because we feel frustrated and overwhelmed and just not capable when we're trying to deal with just life and this big thing that's a weight loss goal. And a weight loss goal is serious. It is life shifting in health, in a healthy perspective, but it's also life shifting in like your schedule and how you eat and everything intimate that you do and everything that you do in the day is shifted when you're on a weight loss journey. And it's hard to get that balance. But this is what we're talking about. Consistency is about finding the balance, not perfection, managing obstacles, calling these failures, actually calling them opportunities, and offering you the ability to analyze and shift for the next time so you will be consistent. So the way that you could do this is through a weekly check-in and analysis on how did I do this week? What's one thing that I can do better? What obstacles came up this week? What can I do next time when these obstacles come up? Do I need to get help in an area? There's so many different things that could go wrong or steer you off course, that these are opportunities to just grow and become even better. And here's the most important part of this, you guys. True transformation isn't just about physical change. It's also really tapped into your spiritual change. Consistency in your spiritual wellness is just as important as your physical habits. So lasting change happens when you align your goals with your values and connect to something greater than yourself. So for those of us who find strength in our faith, this journey becomes so much more powerful when we invite God into it. So those of you who might not be well-versed in the Bible, it's definitely worth diving into. It is the most motivational book on the planet, and we can thank God for that. But we really think about goals and goal getting and projects and weight loss goals as this external thing, all the external things that we have to do. We have to work out, we have to meal plan, we have to track our food, we have to take our body measurements, we have to go to bed on time, we have to drink water, like all these external actions that we have to take. One part that's missing, and one reason why I truly believe that people quit on themselves, is that they don't tap into the inner factors that help you maintain goals, that inner self-talk, that intuition. One of the ways that you can tap into that is reading the Bible. You can read the Bible, you can open it up, and you will find, at any moment, just randomly open it up, you will find some sort of inspirational words and just divine guidance that can keep you at peace and help you stay on track in whatever goal you have. And one of the goals that you should have is trying to live in a peaceful, joyful, kind way, in a kind spirit, in a clean spirit. And that helps us hit other external goals like weight loss goals or relationship goals. And I think it's really important to always bring this up. I brought it up last episode. It's called my connection category, that you should have some sort of connection with a higher being, your inner voice, your mental wellness. All that comes through pausing and tapping into spirit. And I want to read a scripture that I love that is stellar for our topic today, which is maintaining consistency. That's our word of the year. So you can see how powerful tapping into spirit or in divine scriptures can be. So Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you feel doubt creeping in or motivation waning, remember, you're not doing this alone. There are higher powers that rule this planet and this life that we live. God is walking with you, equipping you with strength, discipline, and grace, and helping you to make appropriate changes that are positive for you. When you stay consistent in prayer, reflection, and gratitude to God, to whatever you may be connecting to. I know this isn't a Christian podcast, but some sort of universal power, which we can all just say, call God. That is what it is. But you'll find that your journey becomes more manageable and more meaningful in such an incredible way. You will blow your mind. In my intro, I say, helping you find your joy. That's the last thing I say in my intro to this podcast. You hear it every single time. And one of the ways that you find your joy is, one, through fitness. I always find such joy through fitness. Two, through maintaining healthy eating. You start to feel better and literally feel joyful because you're like, wow, my body feels so good because I'm eating clean. But three, tapping into your personal being while you are connecting with spirit and God. You will find joy if you consistently tap into those three categories. Think about what areas in your life how you can tap into spirit. One of the ways, if you aren't really into reading the Bible, I really recommend you just try it out if that would be something new to you. If you have questions about that, let me know. I'm happy to talk about it. But one of the ways that a lot of us can do it and we don't even realize is being in nature. So think about, can you get into nature more? Can you go listen to the ocean waves? We're lucky we live in California. I'm only about 20, 30 minutes from the Pacific Ocean. I can go there at any moment and I can just sit there and listen to the waves. It is so incredibly powerful and beautiful. I mean, if that's not a connection to spirit and to God, I don't know what is, but it's so calming and you do feel joy and at peace. And when you have those emotions, you're more capable and you have more bandwidth to maintain consistency and keep going on these big goals, these weight loss goals, or these other huge life goals that you might have. The other thing that I love about tapping into spiritual wellness when we're thinking about consistency is it teaches us patience. So consistency and patience kind of go together, because when we are consistent, we are realizing that, hey, I have to do something over and over and over and over again to get to the result. Well, doing something multiple times over and over, go over and over and over and over and over and over, that is time. That's a long time. And time equals patience, right? We can't have a 20-pound weight loss in 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. And another verse I want to share with you is Ecclesiastes 3:1. And it says, to everything there is a season. This is your season of growth. Okay. And growth happens step by step, day by day. So trust in God's timing, trust in the universal timing that He's giving you, that your life and your spiritual connection, whatever that is giving you, and give yourself the grace to keep moving forward in that appropriate amount of time. We have to trust in the time that it takes to get to the goal. And let's make this practical. Winning the year starts with winning the day. So I've talked about it takes a long time. It takes a long time. It takes a long time. We need to be patient. It's true. But let's simplify. I'm all about simplifying. Yeah, we need to be patient, but let's focus on winning the day. Then we'll focus on winning the week, then winning the month, and then winning the year. That takes consistent action. That takes patience. But if you win your day, whatever that means for you, if you filled in the bubble all the way and you were 100% consistent, or if it even was halfway, that's a win. And it doesn't seem like you have to be so patient. So some of us can be really antsy when it comes to weight loss goals. Like we want them now, 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 now. And that's why so many people fall short and lean on these quick fixes, because the patience isn't there. And then they fail. And then they're back in a space where they're stuck and starting over again. And it's just like a terrible cycle. So just focus on the first day, and even the next day, be like, all I need to focus on is today, and take it even deeper. All I need to focus on is right now at this very moment. What am I doing? Am I taking actions that are consistent with my goals and my vision for my goals? See how consistency is it's not just about taking action, it's about making decisions. Like, is this aligned? It's alignment too, not only patience, but alignment. Are my current decisions aligned with my goals so I can stay consistent? When we're voting for ourselves, tapping into that James Clear quote, we're voting for ourselves. I love that. I'm so inspired by that. I'm going to just keep saying it over and over in this episode. When we are making decisions that are reflective of us voting for ourselves, winning our weight loss, getting to that result, maintaining consistency, aligning our actions so we maintain consistency. Those are the small wins that build momentum. And consistency not only builds momentum, but it builds confidence. After 1 month, you're going to be feeling stronger. Even after a week, I always feel like even like 3 days, after my 3 days of like really being consistent, especially if it was like 100%, I'm like, wow, 3 days can change your life. And I haven't done a podcast about this, but I always think about this. I probably should put this on our list of topics to talk about, the 3-day rule. And it's like, just forget about the year. Just focus on being 100% consistent for 3 days solid. You will be so surprised. It's going to blow your mind. So you will not only feel confident after, just those 3 days or even a month, you'll feel stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. You'll trust yourself more. That's huge. A lot of us don't trust that we can do this. We've come into the new year or we've started a new weight loss plan. How many times? I mean, for me, I don't even know. I probably can't count on both my hands. I have a good routine now, but it took a lot of skill building and learning. It took patience, consistency for me to actually get to the results when I finally stuck to it that one time. And I was ultra patient. I remember coming home complaining to my husband, I've been working out for 9 months. I'm just not seeing the results that I want. He's like, you have to be patient. This was many years ago. And, it came, but I mean, it takes a while, you guys. Yes, I was losing weight. I was trying to get like really, really fit so I could do a physique competition. So that takes a lot of different type of consistency. Like it's very strict. I never got to that point, but I got extremely, extremely fit. It took forever, but I was confident I knew exactly what to do. That's why I'm able to sit here right now and share with you how to be consistent, how to think about being consistent. You're going to struggle with this frustration in your mind. You're going to have that self-talk. Like you're not going to trust yourself at first because you're like, no, I've done this before. That's where you got to tap in, to your spiritual fitness too, your spiritual wellness, because that keeps you from going down those crazy rabbit holes of negative self-talk. So you do eventually trust yourself. So from there, you can step it up by increasing the intensity of your workouts once you have proved to yourself that you can maintain consistency, because you just need small actions at first. You don't need to go like diving head first into the deep end and trying to be an Olympic diver when you don't know how to swim. That doesn't make any sense. So, you want to make sure that you start small, then we can up the ante and try to, do these bigger workouts, longer runs if you're a runner, tightening up the nutrition and getting a little bit more rigorous in what you're eating and tightening up, your meal tracking. So the key to this is to maintain and not to overwhelm. And consistency, again, I said this in the beginning, it's not perfection, it's just maintenance. So you want to maintain whatever that looks like, right? So if you do that list, what are my roadblocks that will prevent me from maintaining? You'll have solutions or plan B so you can maintain. So finally, let's align our consistency with our vision. Take time today to reflect on your why. Why do you want to make these changes? I know knowing your why is kind of cliche now. It's been overly used, but it's true. It's a really good reason. But the reason it's overly used is because it's very important to tap into. And so think about these things as your day goes on, or if you're journaling right now or taking notes. Why do you want it to make these changes? Is it to feel more energized for your family or just for yourself? Is it so you can feel proud of yourself? Is it so you can feel confident when you go on vacation, or because you want to be able to lift weight? You're like, I've never lifted weights before. Maybe you just want to try something new. Maybe you're nursing a medical condition, or you want to prevent a medical condition. Maybe you want to be an example to your kids and to your husband. Maybe you want to do it to honor the body God blessed you with. That's always a good reason. Write this down though, and let it be an anchor when it comes to a hard day, or you're like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of veering off my consistency train. And you can tap into your why and be like, remember, this is why I'm doing this. It can always get you right back on track. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to think about consistency and visualize that person that you're becoming. So we vote all the decisions, right? We're voting for that person. We vote. I elect the successful person at the finish line. That is me. I elect that person. I want you to visualize that person. What does she look like? What is she wearing? How does she feel? What's her attitude like each day? What are the actions that person is taking every day? It might be different than now, but what are they doing? Because if they're at the finish line that you are visualizing, they've made some pretty incredible changes. They were definitely consistent. They were definitely patient. They had confidence. They trusted themselves. But so what does that look like? And that will be personal to you, what it looks like. And I want you to visualize that for a second. Write it down. Maybe you can describe it in words. But one of the really cool ways that you can do this is with a vision board. And I did promise you guys a couple weeks ago a training on how to make a digital vision board, which it's coming. I'll let everyone know via email when it's up on YouTube. So make sure that you're on my email list. You can click the link in the show notes to join the email list because I want to make sure that you have access to this. It's going to be a great training because a traditional vision board is with poster board and glue and magazines. Here's the deal. This is 2025. We don't have magazines anymore. I mean, there's still magazines, but people don't have stacks of magazines. I don't want you to have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff to do this. I want it to be accessible and easy to you. I'm going to train you how to do it in Canva. It's an online graphics design software. It's totally free. It's going to help you visualize what that person's doing. It's going to help you visualize each day the actions that that person, that winner, the person that you voted for, how they're behaving. And we want to put that in front of us each day. So this is going to be a fun training, but if you don't want to wait for that and you want to do a traditional vision board, go ahead and do it. Put images on there, words, symbols that inspire you, but also are reflective of the behaviors and actions that someone would need to get to the finish line of your weight loss goals. And this is a reminder of your why too. So put your whys on there. It's not just what you want. A vision board isn't just like, oh, I want to lose 25 pounds or I want to start lifting weight in the gym because that would be a new skill for me. I've never done that before, or I want to run a 5K. It's like, why am I doing this? Find images and words and other symbols that remind you of your why, because your why is your fuel and your faith is your strength. So by staying consistent in your habits, your prayers, and your focus, you'll see incredible transformation. And remember, consistency isn't perfection. It's not perfection. It's just maintaining at a steady pace. It's not just in your body, but it's in your confidence and in your spirit. So let's make this year the year of consistency. So the year of consistency, that's for you, all my health hobby listeners. It's also for me. I have chosen that word because I have major goals for the Health Hobby podcast. And I also have major goals for my healthy living. And I know that consistency is what is going to get me there. Let's commit to showing up for yourself, for your health, and for your faith every day, even if it's not perfect, but in some way, shape, or form. Let's win this year. Let's win this January. If you're listening in real time, let's win this day, one step, one prayer, one healthy choice, one healthy vote of action and decision at a time. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm here with you. You can always email me if you're like, I need help. I'm not consistent. What do I do? It's one of the biggest questions I get. You can always reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. My email's in the show notes. And just remember, God's on your side too. Your family's on your side. Your spouse, your boyfriends, girlfriends, kiddos, your teachers, your bosses, get them involved. They can help you maintain consistency too. This year, let's do things differently and actually stay consistent together. All right, that's it for this week. I hope you are as inspired as I am. I'm smiling ear to ear. I really love this concept of tapping into a word that is strong and powerful, and it really represents everything that we need to do to win. And just like James Clear said in our quote, I'm voting for you, friend, that you will be consistent and successful this year in 2025 or whenever you're listening to this podcast. So don't forget, you can get the quarterly freebie. It's down in the show notes. Check out the new free resources vault. It's the first link in the show notes. Tap on there. There is a plethora of free resources there. The quarter one for 2025 free resource is called Your First 30 Days Workbook. It will walk you through planning a simple and strategic 30 days of your year, of your weight loss journey, so you actually maintain and get in a nice rhythm and build consistency, and that so you can see that you can actually do this. So make sure you go down and grab that, or grab whichever one speaks to you. They're there waiting for you as always. Questions, topic requests, also, the link is in the show notes, and I will catch up with you guys next week. Quick disclaimer. Here on the Health Hobby Podcast, I share tips, insights, and ideas to help you on your weight loss and fitness journey. But I'm not your doctor or your personal health guru. Before diving into any nutrition or fitness plans I talk about, make sure to check in with your healthcare provider. They know your body best. Think of this podcast as your cheerleader and a place for healthy living idea inspiration, not your prescription pad. Stay safe, stay smart, and let's crush those goals together. Until next time.